Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, with that said, let's get into it. So if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button. But also remember, here in the Reydiant Nation, I talk about everything. You're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, all of the really great stuff and all of the challenging stuff as well. I don't shy away from the hard subjects. And so if you are the sort of person that gets really anxious or stressed out about heavy predictions, just a little heads up to say that Reydiant Reality is not the place for you. All right. There are many readers out there that will be able to serve you better than I can, if that's kind of, you know, your thing. All right, with that, either way, I wish you all of the best. You have the Hermit card for your key to the week. So in all of these different areas of life, the Hermit is basically saying that this week it's really about pulling back, right? It's a really, and not even necessarily withdrawing from the world like the Hermit card usually wants you to do. This is scaling it back. In essence, you're being asked to go back to the drawing board with something, to look at the way that things are, to consider how is best to kind of move on or move forward from where you're at this moment in time. So in all of these different sectors of life that we're going to explore now, you are being asked to think about where that might be for you, right? What actually is going to be the best way forward. Now, the other thing that I want to say to you, the Hermit card tends to show up with, so when this card shows up, I often say to people, your high priestess, your own intuition has a message for you, but in order for you to hear it, you got to quiet in yourself and you got to quiet in your life. Okay, so for your actions and options this week, you've got the Six of Swords. So this is a personal journey that needs to be taken, and this is not a metaphorical journey, this is a literal journey. For some of you, this might be you know, a trip that you're taking on your own where you're spending some time away. I absolutely advise everybody to do this at least once a year. Book yourself into a little log cabin or a hotel room, or, well, not a hotel room. Like, if you can do it and your budget stretches to it, book a little quiet boat hold somewhere where you can just go and journal, hear yourself think, maybe do some walks, have, you know, cook yourself a nice meal in a place that is different and peaceful. Now, all of that aside, this does suggest that you are taking a trip this week, but it's one that you're taking solo. The other thing with the Six of Swords, especially as an options card, it does, like, there's a way that you can move beyond something this week, but it will require not so much a lonely journey. Well, yeah, there's something here that there's something in your life at the moment that you are needing to get over or to move past. And the way that you're going to do that effectively is to do it alone, right? There's some kind of deep introspective or inner work this week that if you do that work and you do it alone, if you do it for yourself, by yourself, it will serve you really well. Okay, now for your communications and conversations, you've got the King of Pentacles. So a Virgo male features very heavily for you this week. This will be likely to be somebody that you're having either some very serious conversations with or some very material based or financial conversations with. King of Pentacles, in terms of communications, it's slow and steady communication. So there is something that's improving for you at the moment, but it's taken its sweet time. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, your King of Pentacles is really about, you know, the practical application of whatever it is that you're doing. With the Six of Swords in tow, this is about you finally having, like, and I've said this before and it comes up often, but every so often when you're studying something, you get to saturation point and you're like, I just can't take any more in. And then you start worrying about, you know, am I stupid? Am I, you know, everyone else seems to be getting it. What about me? Something is going to click this week and it finally starts to come together. But it will be something really practical, maybe even a conversation that you have with a Virgo male that really gets you to see something from a very grounded perspective. And when you see that, it's going to be like, oh, okay, now this makes sense. When it comes to your... sorry, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is usually a card of promotion. But with the other cards that are present, the message here really is for your promotion or your advancement to go ahead, you need to demonstrate leadership, which, and that's not to say that you don't already. What I'm trying to say here is that demonstration of leadership is going to show up in the sense of you saying, okay, I'm not going to defer to what other people want or need. This is the call that I make. Whatever that comes with, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly, I take it all on board. This is about you really stepping up to the plate and saying, this is the decision I make. I'm backing this decision. If it's the wrong one, I'll take that on the chin. But if it's the right one, I'll take that on the back. With that said, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, you are bringing it back this week. There's a scaling it back. And it's not even that you're scaling the business back, it's that you're bringing something back to the drawing board to really reconfigure some of the pieces so that you can kind of say, okay, yes, this looks exactly how I wanted it to look. Now we go. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this is a look at the resources, or at least a conversation around the resources where something's been quite unconscious. And what's interesting to me is in this deck, so yes. Let's do this with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So this is a long drawn out explanation, but it's important. You see the King of Pentacles is wearing a lot of black. You see the figure on the Six of Swords is the staff is black. In the original deck, the staff is gold, right? What this suggests is the conversation that you're having around money, finances, and resources this week, you will gain insight or illumination the moment you realize that you've been coming from a very base level consciousness. And you kind of say to yourself, okay, now that I see this, maybe you've been in lack mindset. Maybe you've been telling yourself that that you aren't able to generate what you want, or whatever the case might be. The illumination comes this week, and it comes from within. And as soon as you realize that, something clicks into gear, and it's like, okay. And obviously all that you needed in order for that to happen was some time and space to think. For your love and relations, you've got the Judgment card. This is a reconnection. This is a reconnection to somebody from your past, and it's you effectively deciding whether this person has a place in your life now. The Judgment card is always a blast from the past in some regard, and it very often represents big change. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is you setting a deadline with a partner, even if they don't know it and you never voice it to them. It's kind of like, if things don't improve by this time, then I'm going to walk, right? If we haven't made a decision about this, and this by this time, I will make the decision. I'll step into that leadership role within the context of the relationship. For those of you that are single, the question is, though, are you going to re-assimilate this person into your life? And I think this is one of those few times where this reconnection really is about whether you will reconnect or, go your separate ways. But there is a chance for it. And it's rare. Usually I'm kind of like, on the fence at best. And I usually say like it's just to assimilate whatever lessons this person taught you. But for you guys, this actually is a possibility of a true reconnection. And I have to say, whoever this person is, they've done a lot of changing. Only you can answer the question as to whether you've done a lot of changing, but I can tell you straight up, they have. They've done the work. All right, so I'll leave it at that. Now, for your money and materials, you've got the 10 of Cups. I love this for you. I absolutely love this for you. And the reason being is because, as I say, these conversations that you're having around finances, for all of you across the board, really, but specifically for those of you that are retired, etc., a conversation that you have this week highlights or pinpoints where you've been getting in your own way financially and what you can do about it. There's a moment of real honesty and clarity. And, you know, once you have this conversation, you'll know that you've had it, because your finances will just absolutely start to really increase. There's something on an internal level that needs to shift that is linked to your money, and as soon as it does, you will start to see it roll in. I'm totally here for that. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a card of healing. It's opposite the Judgment card, so whatever healing needs to happen might be within the family or within your personal relationship, but there's a possibility for it, providing you are in the right space, meaning you have to be clear on what it is that you want to change in order to ask somebody to change it. And then when it comes to your home and environment, this is the card of home and environment, right? It's literally the card that represents the happy home. This with the Hermit card, for a very select few of you, you might be realizing that, you know, the happy home is going to be the one that is you on your own. For others, this is going to really get you to see that maybe, just maybe, you need some time out in order to redefine what you want, what you need, and communicate that outward. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.